What's up? It's Matt Clark at the new Matt Clark. How is everybody today? I haven't made a video for a couple days. My girl's family was in town and I had to spend a couple days getting to know them. That's very important. They live far away and I don't know, I just had to make that a priority. So, right back to it. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of the 500 and almost 80 something subs that I have now. It means the world to me. You guys don't understand how much that means to me. We're going to keep this going. We're going to keep the movement going. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell notification button so you get my videos as soon as they come out. It helps me a lot too. I appreciate it. So today, I want to speak on my personal experience with the criminal state of mind that I was in just before I made my change. I don't know if I could say criminal state of mind or just jacked up state of mind, okay? So I came to realize that over all the things that I've experienced in my life, from traumas of being sexually abused, my brother being charged and convicted with murder when I was very young, and being gone for my whole life, to all the violence I've seen, all the crime that I've personally been involved with in my life, which obviously has an impact on you, and just everything that I've gone through. I came to realize that over that time, I learned how to kind of build up a wall to protect myself. And at first, I would get emotional and let this stuff bother me and really stress about it, but over time you kind of harden to that and glaze over, and it really just becomes a part of everyday life, and that's just reality when you're living like that. But what I didn't like about myself was I realized that I had real issues with power and control, you know what I mean? And I would use intimidation or violence or bullying in my younger years to really protect myself and control how the people around me behaved. You know, I wanted to control the whole scenario and have everybody live my version of the life that I wanted. So, very, very quickly, people around me would be intimidated and scared, which I learned very quickly in treatment. I went to treatment for 6 months, and for the first 4 months, I was constantly at war with the staff and with the other residents, with them saying that I was bullying and had this hypo-aggressive attitude and use intimidation tactics to avoid criticism and stuff. And at first, I got real defensive and would really get aggressive and try to either create a physical confrontation with somebody if I thought that that was the answer, or a real mental war with somebody, and I'm also good at that. So I really learned how to control my environment by doing these things. The problem with that is the people that come around you limit themselves. You know what I'm saying? There's not very many people that are going to put up with that. So you're either surrounded by yes men, which aren't going to help you. They're just codependent cogs in your wheel. Or you're not going to have anybody around you at all. And I very, very, very quickly realized that that's what was starting to happen. Everybody who meant anything to me, who I cared about in my life, was disappearing. And did I have any right to blame them? No. I was toxic. Anything that came near me either ended up in jail, ended up on drugs, you know. Anybody who's been involved in that lifestyle knows that anytime anybody's aspiring to live a civilian life, and that's how you live, they're gone. They're not going to be around for very long because they can't. It puts a threat to their life every time you step on their property. Their door could get kicked off, raided, helicopters above their house. They could lose all of that because of my stupidity. So it really took me, it was real difficult for me to accept criticism and to really, really, really look at myself and decide that people were right. It wasn't that I was necessarily like outright bullying. but my body language and the way that I would speak to people would obviously intimidate civilian people. Not everybody in this treatment was from prison, right? So the civilians were scared of me, and I didn't get that at first. Just my backstory automatically put bias in their brains, right? So once that happens, you know, it doesn't really matter what you do, but the fact that I was behaving how I did just made it worse. So it took me a long time to really take a long, hard look at myself in the mirror and tell myself that it was me, that I was the problem. Sorry. I never used to think I was the problem. I used to think everybody else was the problem. And I used to very quickly assume that people were trying to disrespect me or were being shady to me. And I would sit in my feelings and dwell and stress. And then I would lash out because I'm not a directly physical person. So I don't want to fight right away. You know what I mean? But I always had issues with pride, and if something hurt my pride, then I would have to confront it. And if that confrontation turned into violence, then I was okay with it because I had to speak my piece. I had to. And that was also something I had to learn. Choose my battles. I can't fight everything. And honestly, years in prison got me in that pack mentality where it's like, what? You're against me? What? You know, like I was fighting for other people. I was fighting their battles and just wanted to take on any establishment there was. You know, I got in this really hardcore convict frame of mind. And a lot of those institutional values I still believe in. But a lot of them are really toxic and really, really bad for you. So if you're trying to change your life, there's some of them that you can't hold on to. You know what I'm saying? You can always be against snitching. You can always be against box teething. You can always be against diddling. All of that stuff. But there's a lot of other things and small nuances and stuff that can really change how you think, what you believe in, and how you behave. And it can create problems for you in your life. So, you know, you have to really take an inward look at all the small pieces of your character and decide what needs to change, what needs to stay the same. You don't want to change as a man, right? Like, because most of us who've been through those kind of traumas and those kind of prison time and seeing all that kind of violence, you have built up a tough skin. If you've come out of that strong and surviving, you are tough, man. You might not be physically tough, that doesn't matter. Mentally, you're strong. And that is the number one most important thing. You know what I mean? You got big, strong dudes that could smash your face, but mentally are fragile, and you can break them down with a couple words. You know what I mean? So it's all about the brain. And the more drugs you do, the harder it is on your brain. The more prison time you do, the harder it is on your brain. You know? So I decided that it was time for me to change. It was time for me to drop the ego, to drop the pride issues. I'm now capable of walking away. Like, for sure, if you put your hands on me, it's a beef, for sure. But that's any human being has that right. But am I going to go out and smash anybody who disrespects me with words now? Am I going to put my life and jeopardize my life over that? You know what I mean? I don't go out to pubs or bars really anymore in the last 5-7 years of my life because I don't want to go and fight some dude just because I'm walking by and he doesn't think I should be there, or, you know, he wants to talk to my girl or something like that. You know what I mean? I'm not into that. So that's why I've shed that part of my life. But all I'm saying is, if you struggle with power and control and you try to control everybody who's around you, you're going to lose everybody very, 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 very quickly. Really grab onto the ones that you love and really, really, really think about how you treat them. Take their perspective. You know, ask them. Then take an inward look at how you treat yourself. The things that you say to yourself. The self-talk. Do you motivate yourself? Are you positive and optimistic, or are you a pessimist? And those are the things that you have to change if you want to take control of your life again. Power and control issues held me down for years, and I didn't even realize it till recently. And as soon as I was able to drop that, it was like a huge weight off my shoulder. I'm now able to hear criticism without back in somebody's face because they're trying to tell me something that'll help me. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of the time when you're in that lifestyle, you get caught up in that pride. And I definitely did for years. And it held me back. If it's not a threat to your life or a threat to your family's life, chances are it's not worth it. If you feel what I'm saying, you can leave a comment. Please, once again, hit that like and subscribe button, bell notification button. And to all the 578 subscribers, I love you. You can hit me up on Instagram at the new Matt Clark. If you have a question that you feel like I can answer for you and help you, if it can make a video, I will. And if it's something that I feel like should be answered personally, I'll also do that. But each and every one of you means something to me. And your story means something to me. And I hope my story helps and means something to you. So please have a great day. Look at the day positively and optimistically. I love each and every one of you at the new Matt Clark.